again, this is Jake Travers, and welcome to the Whiskey River Sipper Club. Today, I thought we'd try some of my collection of Scottish Malt Whisky Society bottles. I got maybe about 10 bottles from them. And I thought we'd do a blind tasting and see if I can identify any of them. I've noticed for me, it's a good way of drinking something, tasting it, and then remembering, because the Scottish Malt Whisky Society, their flavors are quite distinct. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. In fact, one of them I don't like at all. Well, it's not true. I use it as a. Sometimes I like to mix it, blend these, and kind of try and. That's another thing I use their bottlings for is like to blend and say, oh, let me see if I add these three, I can get this one profile that I'm looking for. Just as practice. And this is practice too. They're expensive. These bottlings can be expensive. I'm not going to say how much I've spent on some bottles, because my wife will kill me. But in any case, I'm going to drink these three bottles here. What's interesting about their bottling too is the names of the bottle kind of gives you an idea of what you're going to taste. So, for instance, we have bodybuilders in ball gowns. So you think to yourself, what in the world does bodybuilders in ball gowns taste like? And you find out. The next is When Pineapple Met Pigeon. Okay. How does anybody know what a pigeon tastes like? That's what I want to know. And then the third one that we're going to try is an 8-year-old, a maple syrup mountain spring. Just making sure my audio is still working. So I also have a bottle of some seltzer water to help cleanse the palate. Although you really don't need to cleanse the palate with the Scottish Malt Whisky Society's offerings, expressions. They the flavors, I have found the flavors to be quite distinctive for single malts. I'd lift up these bottles, but I don't want to accidentally see the stickers on the bottom that would identify these to the glass. What we could talk about the how they bottle and how they mark their bottles. Basically, the Scottish Malt Whisky Society, what they do is they're kind of like Singatory, or what's the other ones? There's Murphy Alexander. They're kind of like an independent bottling, but they go for, they go around. I think they go and they're kind of like the godsend for some of these distilleries, because I think what they do is they grab barrels that are completely way off, that the distilleries can't use, because if they were to use it in their bottlings, it would throw off the flavor. So they sell it to the Scottish Malt Whisky Society. Um, and so that's my take. I don't know if that's actually what happens, but they're kind of like an independent bottling, but they're also a club. You have to join them before you can buy any of their bottles. So there's a yearly fee. But I really haven't been disappointed with any of them. Even the one that I don't like. There's literally one, and it's one of these. I wonder which it is. That I don't like it compared to the other bottles that I have, but it's still good. In fact, I use it in blending because it is that particular bottle does give a good middle flavor, you know. So anyway, so let's try. We're going to try these three. I don't know what they are. They are marked, just like last week, with the stickers. And of course, these stickers will correspond with the sticker underneath the bottle. I'm told the bottles are pretty deep, have a big dimple on the bottom. So even if I were to tilt it, I wouldn't be able to see it. But I don't want to risk it. So let's try it. So we're going to try the first one, which is yellow. I don't have my notepad this time. I figured we'd just, see if we could do this. Okay. I think by the smell, I may already know what this one is. I want to say it has some pineapple in the nose. But it's not. It's not what it is. And what are we dealing with here? We have bodybuilders, maple syrup, and pineapple and pigeon. Okay. You also have to be careful. Ooh. Because these are very high proof. For instance, the bodybuilders in ball gowns is a whopping, I don't have my reading glasses. Is that right? 66.1%. When pineapple met pigeon is 56. I can't read that, 0.8 or 9. Oh, here, I got glasses right here. And then the maple syrup and mountain is 59.5. So these are pretty potent. So it's not what I thought it was. So I'm thinking it's something else. Okay. Let's do green now. This is green. Whoa. Now this smells like maple syrup. Like pancakes. Is that what's on here? and a mountain spring. Hmm. Mm. It smells like pancakes. It smells like McDonald's pancakes, in fact, with with the butter. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna need some water. I was wrong. And my lighting is changing here, so I gotta fix that. Here we go to pick that color. Okay, let's do the third one. Wow. Hmm. Hmm. Wow. You know, I thought this was going to be easy, but it's not. Um, all three of them have a distinct smell to it. I mean, this one kind of did smell like pineapple. Oh yeah. Now it's coming out. Yeah. Okay. And this one, boy, this it almost smells like tanning lotion or body oil. And so that's how you realize for me anyway. I mean, this is you know. Now, would I have said to myself if I didn't know any of the names of these whiskeys that this smells like tanning oil? Who knows? I mean, somebody at the Scottish Malt Whisky Society knows what tanning oil smells like. Hmm. But initially, too, it was very, very, very perfumey. This one, it still smells like pancakes, and it's glorious. It's unbelievable. It's like smelling McDonald's pancakes. It's so wonderful and glorious. Mm. Mm. Okay, I'm because we could talk about the Scottish Malt Whisky Society after I get this right or wrong. I believe this is the when pineapple meets pigeon. This is the maple syrup and spring water um, because there is some mineral when you drink it. It doesn't taste like what it smells like. It smells like syrup and pancakes, but when you drink it, it's yeah, it's a little bit minerally. And then this one, I'm guessing, is the bodybuilders in ball gowns. Mm. Yeah. And I'll tell you which one is my favorite. Actually, like one of my favorites is here. And then one of my least favorites is here. And and then the other one, I just had my significant other just pick a bottle and pour. So two of them I purposely said, okay, let's do these, and then you pick another one. Let's see if I'm right. So this is pink. Can you see the pink? And is that pink? It's pink. So I got that right. Okay. So I'm 1 for 1. This is yellow. And I'm saying it is the pineapple and pigeon. Oh, is that yellow? I can't tell, or is that green? Oh, it's yellow, which means this is green. And I said green was the maple syrup and the mountain spring. And there it is, green. Hot damn, I got it right. I redeemed myself from the Johnny Walker. I bought, after last week, I bought a bottle of the gold label so I could taste more of it, because it really threw me off. I don't have much experience with the gold, and the gold tasted so much like the blue, which I also don't have much of experience. I have a regular sized bottle of it, but because of COVID, I got nobody to drink it with. So I have so many unopened bottles because I'm waiting to, drink it with people. In fact, one of my goals is to have guests over and talk about things that the person is interested in while we're drinking whiskey. I think that would be an interesting show. We'll talk more about that later, at some other time. But right now, I got these 3 right. And to talk about the Scottish Malt Whisky Society, so one of the things about them, so they'll have a label, okay, and this is what they call it, and then they'll try and give you a description. So the bodybuilders in ball gowns says a vial of fine ladies' perfume, and I got that. Poof! As soon as I breathed that in, you can. It was very perfumey. Shrouded bold cinnamon and sandied oak, as we bench pressed marshmallows and tea cakes in a scented herbal garden. And this is one of my favorites. It was so good. Now, this is a 9-year-old. Okay, that's what the 9 stands for. And then on here, the way they do it is they have the society cast number, and this one is 95.36, and this is one of 215 bottles. Okay. So, and then they tell you that it was distilled on September 15th, 2010. and that it's a Speyside, and the cask was a second filled ex-bourbon barrel. But unlike other independent bottlers, they don't have the name of the distillery, and in order to get the name of the distillery, you have to use this number 3536.36. So 0.36, I believe, is the barrel. And then there's a few websites that will decipher. I copied and pasted it into my memos. And so this is cask number 95. So the number 95 is what we have to look up. So I look at 95. And, ooh. I can't even pronounce this one. Orkrist Distillery. And let's find out on Wikipedia. It's Diageo, and they are a Speyside. And that's probably why I got it, because I never heard of the distillery before. And bodybuilders in ball gowns just sounded really interesting to me, so I went and bought it, and it's a 9-year-old. And then same thing with this one, Pineapple Met Pigeon, and I remember when I saw it, and I thought to myself, what the hell does pigeon taste like? And this is the least favorite, because it tastes like it tastes like a dried. It tasted like a stringy, overcooked. You know a Christmas, not A Christmas Story. It was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and his wife, wasn't his wife. It was Eddie's wife. Makes a turkey, and she dries the turkey out so much that it explodes dust, and you think to yourself, what would that taste like? It tastes like that. It tastes like that. Just for shits and giggles, this is a 17-year-old. Here they said a complex entanglement with aromas of smoke. Water brought the nuance of fruit with notes of fermenting pineapple, sweet bananas, and subtle cherry. I did get the pineapple, and the smoke, I think, is that dried turkey taste. It's a 17-year-old. It was distilled on September 5th, 2002, and it's a Highland. And actually, this was different, and this might have been why I bought it too. It was initially aged in an ex-bourbon hogshead, and then they finished it in a refilled ex-Jamaican rum barrel, which is probably why I bought it. Because it was an ex-Jamaican rum barrel, the flavor kind of disappointed me a little bit, because it did taste like, to me, it tasted like a dried piece of fowl. And I picked that word specifically. Overcooked fowl. Stringy foul, unfatty. You know, it was. But I do use it a lot to fill in middles when I'm you know, trying to mix and see if I can, you know, that's another, maybe we'll do a video on that. I don't know. This is what I do. It's the pandemic. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing, you know, and I figured, hey, let's make a video about it and put it on YouTube, because why the hell not? So this is Society Cast number 4, 255. So it's one of 231. So I guess they did the 231 bottles of that. But it's distillery number 4. And distillery number 4 is Highland Park. So so there you go. And then the third bottle we did was an 8-year-old. And they say it had notes of vanilla sponge cake with nuance of cinnamon and nutmeg before swirling notes of maple syrup, fresh ginger, and sweet tangerines. The scent was, I mean, it was like pancakes. And it is good. And this is becoming one of my favorites as well. So it's an 8-year-old. It was distilled January 16th, 2012. And they say it was a Speyside. And it's the first fill ex-bourbon hogshead. And it's Society Cast number 8014. So we look up here what 8014 is. And it's Glen Spey Distillery. Again, you know, another reason why I probably bought it, because you know, I don't see too many Glen Spey single malts. So there you have it. You know, I love the Scottish Malt Whisky Society. In fact, I'm tempted to buy a few more bottles. Every month they come out with new runs, and they have a couple of Kalilas that I like. I love Kalila. I bought a few Kalilas from them already. Kalila's like one of my favorites. Of course, it's really one of it's what got me into whiskey and Scotch. Really, was Kalila. And then when I learned more about it, I was like, okay, it makes sense about Kalila. So I'm always a sucker for Kalila. So there you go. I like doing these types of blind tastings and stuff like that, because what's great about the Scottish Malt Whisky Society is their flavors are distinct. I mean, they are distinct, and you are going to notice, and their nose are distinct. And so it's great because I want to say it's good for beginners, but you got to be careful, because you're not going to find a bottle below 50%. You know, they basically take it from the cask and pour it into the bottle. That's what they do. And but it's a great way to start identifying flavors from that whiskey offers. I think. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. You know, maybe someday I'll talk to Daniel Whittington that his name? I hope I didn't screw it up. Everybody knows Daniel. And Rex. I mean, they're the go-tos. And see what they're. I know Daniel collects a lot of these bottles. They've done a few episodes, but that's what I've been doing. Is using them to help develop my palate for the regular name brands, and also it's about training and memory, and to me, working with these bottles is like a kid working with big blocks as a 4-year-old and learning to put things together, and so anyway, I got it right. I was pretty damn sure about it, because again, the titles do help with flavor identification. I pay attention more to the titles than I do with their flavor notes, because when you taste it, it's like, oh yeah, that it tastes like, it's just so abstract, And this is my favorite, the bodybuilders in ball gowns. I remember when I first, and you can see I've already almost half of it, and I got this, I don't know, 6 months ago, and when I first had it, it was just, it's like, wow, yeah, it's like drinking, it's like visually drinking Mr. Universe with a woman next to him in a ball gown. I mean, it's uncanny. It's so weird. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. If you want to develop your palate and your sense of smell, and you can afford it, and it's not cheap. I don't think any of these bottles were under $100, and I've bought some bottles that are pretty expensive from them. But they come in nice, really nice wooden boxes. Someday I'll show you. But I do, if you're really serious about whiskey and you really want to dive into flavors and develop a palate, I really suggest doing the Scottish Malt Whisky Society. It's really it's really been mind opening. So, thanks for watching. And hope to see you around in the club.